Testing. 1, 2, 3. Car launch for the sports hit list by the fans and for the fans. I'm going to start sharing the video while people try to file in right now. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on this Wednesday afternoon. There's plenty to talk about in sports. COVID-19 and the vaccine and how it's affecting athletes, especially in the NBA, and their new rules and changes. We're going to have some of the guys from the NBA team come join us. We're also going to do an NFL Week 3 recap. I'm going to be sharing this right now live. So thank you for everyone for joining us on the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. Again, thank you for everyone joining us here on the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. I'm going to be letting in some of my contributors real soon as we're going to start talking about. Again, thank you for everyone joining us here on the Sports Hit List by the NFL. You are tuned into the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans live here. Thank you for everyone joining us. I know people are still flooding into the comments. I'm going to get the show underway. There's a lot going on, particularly around the COVID vaccine and if athletes should be taking it and putting it into their bodies. I'm going to get the opinions of my contributors when I bring them in. It's something that we're going to be talking about throughout the day, throughout the show. And it's something that's really impacting. You know, should athletes be forced to take something, and should it mess with their livelihood of what they do as a profession? I think that's been the question of the day. It's been the question clearly as we enter the new NBA season, and also protocols. Do the protocols in specific states, are they okay or are they not okay? Also, we have an NFL recap to another Week 3. And I'm going to get the opinions of the guys about that. Let me bring some of the guys in. We have Ray joining us and also Charlie Baldy, some of our hit list contributors. I want to thank them for pulling up and contributing to the Sports Hit List family. Let's see if we have them coming in here. Chuck, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. What's going on, pal?
How you doing, man? It's been a while.
I know. We got a lot to talk about. The Masked Singer, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD.
Chicago Fire, it was okay. I mean, they both were okay. They were right.
I told you, Fire's been bad, like for a couple of seasons now.
I agree, but I don't think you should give up on it just yet. I mean, I think it's still
all right
for me because I need somebody else to talk about it because Deb already gave up on it, so I need somebody else to talk about it.
You got it.
Ray, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. How y'all doing?
We're good. Before we get into the NFL talk, I wanted to get your opinion what's been trending in the world of sports is the vaccine and the mandate in the NBA and players being forced to take the vaccine. So I'll be clear. I'm not ashamed to admit I'm vaccinated. I'm team Moderna, so I don't have a problem admitting that. I wanted to keep my family safe, and also because I'm considered an essential worker. Working in a school and actually being a student too, it was imperative that I get it. So I don't know where you guys stand on that. I don't know what the NFL policies are as far as players being vaccinated or not, but the NBA is strictly in New York, the state of New York and San Francisco. Kyrie Irving hasn't taken it yet. Andrew Wiggins says he's not going to take it. Bradley Beal, another player, was not going to take it. So Chuck, let me start with you. What are your thoughts with athletes? Should they be forced to take something? Should they be docked their pay? What do you think here?
Well, I mean, I don't blame them for having their own opinion and saying that they don't want to get it. I respect that completely. You do what you do with your body. That's your choice and whatnot. However, when you look at the grand scheme of things, I think players should go get vaccinated considering what they do on a day-to-day basis. Like, they're around a good amount of people every day, whether it's practice, games, traveling, so on and so forth. So they're at a higher risk than somebody like us who might work from home and don't come into contact with as many people as they do. So while I respect their opinion, I think it's in their best judgment to go and get vaccinated just because they're at a higher risk than most other people.
Ray, what are your thoughts with the athletes, particularly the NBA, about getting vaccinated? Are you with Kyrie and taking the stance and it's their body, or should they have to do it?
I'm a person where I had to get the vaccine. It's mandatory now as soon as the FDA approved it. So I'm vaccinated. I don't believe anyone should be forced to take it, but I do believe with your choice, there's going to be consequences. So if you're ready to face them, then cool. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be employers that are going to mandate their employees take it. So you either take it or you find another line of work. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that right now just here in the military. Like, people are going to get out because of it, which is their choice, of course, but that's just what it is. Just do your research. I mean, I'm not talking about go to Facebook, talk to people. I'm talking about go to a doctor, an expert, someone you trust to give you all the facts, and then you make a decision on that at the end of the day.
Yeah, I do think it, though, it's unfortunate. Like, I understand where both of you are coming from, but I think it's unfortunate. And people are making the argument, particularly the nurses who were helping, COVID patients now are losing jobs because they don't want to get vaccinated. I don't think someone should have to be forced. But then on the contrary, you understand why they're asking people to do this and why they're trying to force a mandate. So it's a sticky situation. It's something that's really unfortunate. I hope we can get past it and do it. With that said, week 3, I'm going to ask you guys some surprises. My surprise for week 3, like the Chiefs losing back-to-back weeks. And now, I kid you not, I remember last week I asked, it's only week 3. I'm pretty sure someone's going to say it's only week 3. It's the Chiefs. They'll be fine. That was my surprise of week 3. Chuck, what was yours?
The Chiefs are a big surprise. I think the Rams were a surprise. They were underdogs the whole week, and they went out and kicked the ass against the defending champs. And it wasn't even like it was really that much of a close game. Like, they went out and walked all over Tampa Bay. So the Rams, the Packers finally turned things around. Coming into week 3, they played like one good half of football, and they looked more like what they were last year, this past week, than they did through the first 2 games. So I think the Rams and the Packers were the 2 biggest surprises.
Mr. Cowboy, what are your surprises for NFL week 3?
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I don't think they're 1-2 right now, and they're in a tough division. They can't be 1-2, but they still haven't even played the divisional teams yet. And you're already 1-2. You had a bad loss with Tennessee, and then you follow that up with another loss to the Vikings. That's not looking good right now. with them. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks at the moment.
Is it fair to say that they don't make the playoffs? They don't get out? I know on the Sunday show they were talking about that being the toughest division. Declan had them making the wild card, and Paul was disagreeing, saying there's no way they get out of that division. Chuck, could you see Seattle going in for a wild card race, or it's like a done now at this point?
No, I think what we're seeing with Seattle now is the cracks that have been there over the past couple of seasons, where it took Russ to, put up MVP type of performances to kind of smooth things over, but we're not seeing that right now. And I think they're so bad on the offensive line. They can't get a sustainable run game going, and then they're brutal on defense. Their secondary is atrocious. Jamal Adams signed that big contract, and he's been doo-doo. So I think all the cracks and all the weaknesses are starting to come to light. And like Ray said, they're in a really tough division, so they're in a lot of trouble. And I think that's why Russ wanted out, because he foresaw what was coming.
Ray, do you agree here?
Yeah, 100%. Their defense is not good. I mean, the defense always starts off kind of slow these past couple of years, but you got a healthy 49ers team now. Arizona, they're not going to go nowhere. It's going to be tough. And then we already know what the Rams are. The Rams pretty much – I had the Rams winning that division anyway. So you're in the dogfight right now because 49ers are for real. They're not hurt. I don't see them getting hurt. All them players getting hurt this year. And Arizona is going to make it tough for you. Arizona, they always play each other tough. And Arizona looks better this year, definitely. So I could see them not making it. I heard somebody say all 4 teams will make it. That's not going to happen. The way it's looking like Seattle is going to be the one that's left out. But we don't know. It's still a lot of games left.
Chuck, I can't have you on the show without discussing your Jets and how, they receive a lot of flack. I get it. It's growing pains, but, your quarterback is still in his rookie season. And I know there's pressure from the New York fan base. And Raynal and I were getting into it about the Giant fans always talking about the Jets, but they're just as bad. Could New York fans just be a little bit more patient with Wilson? Is it fair to say that, he's a young kid, the bright lights in New York, he's not groomed yet for the position, and this is his there should be a learning curve. I understand, the desire to win as a New Yorker, we always want to win, but could we give him a little bit more opportunity? And clearly, Darnold is an example of that, leading his team now to 3-0. I get it. He's in a different position, but could you give Wilson a little bit more room to grow and show you that he is the guy?
Well, I think where the frustration is coming from, and I do agree with you, I think they should give more time. And I said that from the beginning. They're going to be a bad team this year. I knew that coming in. I even made a post week 1 saying they're probably going to go like 5-12. So I don't know what people expected from this team. Yes, they looked awful, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a rookie head coach followed by a rookie offensive coordinator who has never called a game in his life before week 1. And a rookie quarterback. So I don't know what they think they were going to get. And I think where the frustration is coming from is that they've been so bad for so long. And the NFL is one of the easiest sports to go from worst to first. But yet the Jets always seem to be in that realm of purgatory where they can't get out of being bad. But I mean, when I watch, I don't expect anything. The Panthers have a good defense. They went up against Bill Belichick in week 2, who absolutely puts on a clinic when he goes up against rookie quarterbacks. Then last week, they played the Broncos, who have a deadly secondary. So I don't know what they expected to see. Yes, they've looked really, really, really bad, but were your expectations that high? So they played Tennessee this week, who's not too good defensively. They're respectable, but not too good. So we should see improvements. But when you look at it, receivers are dropping balls. The offensive line's been bad. It's been bad all in all, and it's not just on Wilson. So, all I got to say is just relax, be patient. This is a full-on rebuild, and we see that. The last GM was horrible. So I say just give it time and just see what happens.
Well, Ray, we know you're a notorious New York hater, so I can't even ask you a question about any New York team. But you've been a Cowboys fan, so you kind of understand the tolerance and being patient as a fan. How patient do you get? How patient, like where do you draw the line when it comes to patience as seeing your team, build and be a contender?
Look, man, you just have to have a realistic expectation when it comes to your team. You know what I'm saying? I remember Chuck making the post. He's not expecting much this year. I mean, he gave all the real reasons on why he's not expecting much. It's his growing pains. A rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. There's a lot of first timers on that Jets team, so you just have to be patient. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. It's just look at your team and just have a real expectation for it, and then if they meet it or if they go above and beyond that, that's cool. But if they don't, then there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much that fans try to. A lot of fans, they always want their teams to do good, but sometimes you just gotta be realistic with it, man. You just have to be real with your team.
Well, in terms of being realistic, I'm a Giant fan. The realistic is, there's not much to expect this team. And I forget who, I think maybe it was Ray Jarvis who posted it. Shout out to him. Definitely missed his show, where we were looking at the Giants schedule and looking at, we don't see a win in the forthcoming future. And it doesn't look that good. And it's to the point where you're looking at it and you're just like, where does this team get a win in? And the expectation of like, all right, this is Danny Dimes. He's in his fourth year now, right? So it's a matter of, do you give up on him? It doesn't seem like Gettleman wants to give up on him. But what's the answer, Chuck, with the Giants?
I think what they should have done was they should have gotten a real offensive coordinator. I didn't like to hire Jason Garrett. I think Jason Garrett did well in Dallas because he had the strong offensive line and then Zeke running the ball. And here in New York, yes, you have a nice running back who unfortunately got hurt, but you don't have that same offensive line. And you need a quarterback that could push the ball downfield. That's who they went out and signed. Kenny Golladay is a guy who you throw the ball 40, 50 yards downfield and get him that jump ball. He's not running these short routes and quick passes. That's not happening. So the offense doesn't fit with the quarterback's, greatest attributes of running, the run pass option, and so on and so forth. So they should do what Denver did. Denver knew Drew Lock ain't it. They went out, they got a serviceable game manager in Teddy Bridgewater, and now they're 3-0. That's what the Giants should have did. But you got to cut bait quickly, and I think Jones's last days in a Giants uniform are coming to an end.
Wow. I'm looking at the schedule, right? We got New Orleans. That's a loss. We got the Cowboys. You say that's a loss. I know Ray's going to say that. You got the Rams. You got the Panthers, the Chiefs, the Raiders, bye week in 10, then the Bucks, the Eagles, the Dolphins, Chargers, Cowboys, Eagles again, the Bears, and then they finish out with the football team. So I don't know. Like, could they possibly get an upset and sneak something? I mean, listen, it's only been week 3 and we've seen a lot of surprises so far. Could there be again, it's hard for me to ask Ray this question because I know how he feels about the Giants and their fan base.
Here's the reason why I troll Giant fans. I will never forget this. With the other group, the first group, initial group that we
it's a sports thing, right?
Right. I joined that. I remember this. And I made a comment about Eli Manning being done and that they need a new quarterback. And every Giants fan on that page attacked me, especially when they found out I was a Cowboy fan. And ever since then, the Giants have been trash. And those same Giants fans don't say anything anymore about the team. And it's just hilarious. And I'm always going to remind them how trash their team is.
So you still holding on, you're still holding on to that initiation by Giant fans from like years and years ago.
Yes, because it wasn't no hate. I wasn't hating. I was just giving just a realistic sports take. That's it. And they attacked me. They were going on. I remember Chauncey, all of them, Kenny, all of them was just going in on me, sending memes and everything, especially when they found out I was a Cowboy fan. And then ever since then, they've been really quiet, super quiet. You don't even know they're fans.
You know what it is? Eli Manning is a very, you know how us sports fans are sensitive to certain things. So Eli is a very sensitive topic, you know, and whenever anyone wants to say anything about Eli, it gets like, it's like the Derek Jeter thing. And I know you have a thing about that too, right? It's like there's holy grail with certain players in New York. Like even like I think Patrick Ewing is up to that standard where you just don't say anything about them, particularly if they help your team win a championship. It's a sensitive topic. So I think that's where it lies with Giant fans, is that Eli to them is like, I don't know, like who's on your GOAT? Like Emmitt Smith, right? You'd say, or like Deion Sanders, right? So those are where I think if you get to that point where you're saying certain things about them, people kind of get in their feelings about it, which is a touchy topic.
It's been fun. It's been
that
fun.
Again?
It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, I know it has, but realistically though, this team has to win a game. I mean, they don't have to do anything. But realistically, where do we see in the schedule that they could actually sneak in a win? Would it be against the Eagles at least? Is that realistic? Because the Eagles are not.
The way I look at it is anything could happen on any given Sunday. And I think the Jets are a perfect example. Yeah, I think the Jets are a perfect example when they beat the Rams last year in Los Angeles, where they were like 20-point underdogs and they somehow got their first one of the year. So I think anything can happen. It just takes one bad game from the other team and you could sneak out a win. Although I do think divisional games are probably easier to win because those are the teams that you kind of get up for. So maybe the Cowboys, now I'm not saying the Giants are better than the Cowboys, but that's a game that you look towards. Maybe they sneak out a division win against a football team, against the Cowboys, or against the Eagles.
Yeah, they're good to win. To be honest, Daniel Jones isn't as bad as Giant fans like to make him out to be. Yeah, he doesn't make all the plays, but he does make plays. And the last two games, they actually had a chance to win. It's not like they were just like completely awful. The first week they were bad, but the last 2 weeks they could have won them games. They just a play here, a play there. I don't see them going 0-10. They'll probably. They could probably beat the Eagles. They could beat anyone. Like they can even beat the Cowboys, to be honest, because divisional, you don't know what's going to happen in the divisional game. So I don't see them going 0-10. I would say that they'll find a way.
So JJ Louis is in the comment. I'm going to move on, but I have to address this comment. He said he understands what I'm saying, but Eli, he was close, but not in the same breath as Derek. And listen, we all understand in New York championships matter and they mean a lot. And Eli, he had two. So I understand you may not put him in the same breath as Derek, but you're looking at New York sports in the last 20 years. Eli is up there. Is that safe to say, Chuck? Given that you're a New York fan.
Well, according to Michael Strahan, he has some choice words about Eli. He was like, if Eli's only getting his number, no, he said Eli's number 10 is not being worn ever again because of two passes, which was the pass to Manningham, I believe, right? And the David Tyree catch. So right. I guess Michael Strahan didn't really think that Eli is this prestigious quarterback that Giant fans make him out to be. But I do think Jeter's on a higher level than Eli, and I don't even think it's close.
It's not close. Okay, listen, we could make that an entire conversation on another day. I just think the level of respect that Giant fans have for Eli, the fact that you do put him in the class of Jeter, I don't even think Eli's ever said anything bad. He's a nice, humble guy.
Right.
No, but that's points though. Honestly,
right.
like you should get some points for that. And we also got to shout out him and his brother's show. I had a chance to tune in this on Monday to watch him and Peyton. It's funny they had LeBron on it. I thought it was well produced, and I think they're doing a great job with that show on Monday Night Football on ESPN2. Before I let you guys go, the main event on Sunday night, the return of Tom Brady to New England. This is where all the bright lights, this is what people are going to be expecting. We know the cameras are going to do a feature. There's going to be a behind the scenes. There's going to be him walking out the tunnel. Like you're going to get all the pomp and circumstance behind it. Like I could already book the producing behind this game. I could already see it. Ray, what are you expecting the emotions to be like? Does he get cheered? Does he get booed for being a traitor? Does he cry? Do you see any tears from Belichick? Is there a hug midfield? What do you see coming out of this game on Sunday night for Sunday Night Football?
Man, I just see it's gonna be just another game. They're very professional, both guys, Belichick and Brady. You know, the fans definitely are not gonna boo him. I mean, I don't see that's not gonna happen. I mean, he made a decision. He left. For a lot of people, they know why he left. I mean, he didn't have the weapons that he needed at that age. You know, he still can play. I don't see any big hug or any tribute video for Tom Brady. It's gonna be business as usual for both of them. They're gonna go there, do their jobs, and at the midfield, maybe do an awkward handshake and go on their business. It's pretty much
Listen,
it.
the NBA is notorious for people getting in their feelings about tribute videos. At this point in junction, when we talk about tributes, you know, he is deserving of one. I don't know how NFL works, if you'd even be able to see a tribute. Maybe I clearly have a Jumbotron that you could probably see a tribute video, but there has to be some, like, again, knowing that he's returning and what he meant to that team and that franchise, there has to be something. Like I can't see NBC not putting this on their prime time, not being something in the pregame, not having a comment, not doing something. I don't know. You guys tell me, how do they normally book a return of an NFL player to a team? Chuck.
Weird.
I think they'll do a video pregame just because of what he did for the Patriots and what he meant to that organization. I think he's still good friends with Kraft, who's the owner. So I think they'll give him like a quick video tribute. But I think Ray's right where, you got two professionals, and Bill knew better to not give Brady any bulletin board material this week, because he just came out because he was asked about Brady's decision. He was like, all he did was just make a choice and he left. So he knew better than to throw Brady under the bus. So I think we'll just see two stand-up guys. There might be a hug midfield at the end, but it's not going to be anything emotional. Where it's
no
like
hug midfield. There has to be
talking. They might do like a handshake and then a quick hug and then depart. But I don't see anything.
There has to be
the crying and the holding. No, it's going to be, hey, thank you, good game. That's it.
Come on, that's.
Oh, have you ever watch a video when Bill Belichick was giving Tom Brady the game ball for some type of game that he did? It was the most awkward. It was just so awkward. Bill Belichick like praising Tom Brady. It didn't even feel right. That's how. So he's not. There's not gonna be no hugging. It's gonna be a quick. Handshake.
But you know what? Like I watched the documentary Bill and Bill, right? The one with Bill Belichick and what's the other Bill? Bill Parcells. He's just a very monotone kind of person. So you're right. We may not see a hug, but you know me with the drama. There has to be something. It's just like that whole like when Colby and Shaq played for the first time, they just did like one little fist. There has to be something. There has to be something to draw the audience. Like someone has to do something or say something to draw the audience into that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady storyline. So hopefully there's a little bit of drama in it.
Well, to be fair, since Brady has left, he has opened up personality-wise more. So maybe after he hits like a key pass, he might give a point over to the sideline, or he might give a little look to the sideline at Bill. That's something that I would expect out of Brady, but I think Bill's just going to be his normal self, and that's it.
Yeah. He will break the record. He will become the all-time, the passing leader. Yeah. It's that game.
Like that game, he'll break the record.
Yeah, he needs like 100.
Probably.
He will get that unless he gets hurt.
Yeah. You know? Well, you know what, guys? I would ask you for your picks, but some of your contributors don't like making picks before Sunday, apparently. So I'll wait till Sunday.
We gotta wait to see the injuries and everything.
Yeah. So I'll definitely ask you guys for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was great, Chuck, to see you. Chicago Wednesdays tonight. Tune in, right?
I can't wait.
Ray, are you a Chicago Fire and PD fan?
Nah, man. I don't really follow that.
Are you still a 90 Day Fiance though?
Oh yeah, I still watch it.
I'm behind 3 episodes.
What? How the hell do you watch Chicago Wednesdays?
I'm behind on that, bro. I'm behind. I gotta catch up. On
Carl,
that.
To be honest, I watch Fire all day Tuesday.
Oh, on
Chicago Wednesday. Yeah, and then I watch Chicago Wednesdays, and then I watch PD all day Thursday.
Oh, Ray. To be fair, Deb loves Jenny and Sumit. They're her favorite couple.
They're all over the place, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
See you, Carl. See you, Ray.
All right, Chuck.
Thank you guys for watching the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. I'm going to bring in my NBA contributors right now as we'll start to discuss the vaccine in the league. Mr. Andres, Mr. Numbers, how you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. Living the dream. Life is good. Before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to Gabby Petito's family. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. I know we didn't bring it up last week because we were all over the place with basketball and whatnot, but you've always said that we should use our voice to talk about a lot of social issues, a lot of things that are going on in the outside world, because obviously the world is not all about sports. So thoughts and prayers with Gabby Petito's family, and hopefully her family finds peace, because the circle of life is that you shouldn't have to bury your kid.
Oh, yeah, amen to that, man. Prayers out to the family. Really, really, really hard, and continue praying, because having a missing child and burying a child is not something you should look forward to. Ziggy Zig, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, bro? A little tired, but I'm here.
I feel you on that, man. So the NBA training camp begins. I don't know. I'm not that excited for training camp. I saw media day. We saw different things going on with media day, but the general topic today, as we know, is the vaccine and the players who have decided not to take the vaccine. The NBA has had a mandate now that players are not going to be paid. Andrew Wiggins, I saw a report. He said he's not going to play. Kyrie Irving, I saw his media day, and he basically said, it's a personal matter, quote unquote, personal matter. He doesn't feel like he wants to discuss it right now. But there's a lot of things when it comes to the vaccine and should players take it. I've had conversations with other sports fans about it. Some feel, entitled to say these are players and, we pay for their salary. They should be out there playing home games. You could take it a step further is, how are kids supposed to see their favorite player play if they're not playing in home games? Does this affect the Brooklyn Nets when it comes to the playoffs and the finals? If Kyrie Irving decides that he's not going to play the home games. So there's a lot of conversation back and forth. Now you're not just dealing with a league issue, you're dealing with state mandates. Is it fair that someone should lose salary or someone, can't work because they're deciding not to put something in their body? There's a lot here. There's a lot at stake here. And I see both perspectives. I just don't think it's fair. Someone decides that they're not going to do something that's not in their benefit and they're losing out on work. I don't see how that correlates, in my opinion. You could agree, you could disagree with me, but that's just how I see it. Andres, what are your thoughts?
Me personally, I feel that there's nothing wrong with the players, like the requirement of having to get vaccinated, because there's literally nothing wrong with that. And obviously there's this state requirements, this and that, but the whole free liberty thinking, it's just sorry for my friend, but it's just total bullshit. Obviously we understand that there's nothing wrong with having the choice of wanting to get it or not having to get it or whatever. I understand that there's people that are skeptical about it, but to come out and have public advertisement, having the voice that you have, you shouldn't be able to say, don't get the vaccine. For example, Bradley Beal's PR team, they looked at him dead in the eye. They're like, bro, you cannot go on and say this, just fix your words. What did he say the next day? Listen, right now I can't take the vaccine because I just had COVID 30 days ago. I'm not enforcing anyone to not get it. I'm just saying that in my perspective. So obviously Bradley Beal is going to get it. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, they were saying that he didn't want to get it, this and that. After talking to Kevin Durant, he's going to get it. So the whole media for clicks thing is just, the whole slandering their name for clicks thing is pretty stupid. So me being a kid of immigrant parents and having family in a third world country, not having access to the vaccination, and seeing that us, the United States, we're literally a first world country in a Gucci belt, because nobody wants to do anything. And it's just it pisses me off. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do think that players have the right to say whether they want it or not, but I don't think they should be enforcing the do not take it, do not take it, do not take it. Because we've seen players and other human beings do all types of drugs. Or when they take Tylenol. When you take Tylenol when you were 10 years old, you weren't wondering what the hell was in that Tylenol. But guess what? You woke up the next day and you were fine, right? When you tore your ACL and you had to get surgery, you weren't wondering what surgery the doctor was giving you. But hell, the next day you were walking fine, right? So it's a lot of series of things that matters. And now everyone wants to be a biologist and a scientist. So that's just my perspective on it.
Ziggs, what are your thoughts with the mandates in the league? And to me, it's just, I've said it's been inconsistent. I understand certain states have certain mandates. Every state has different laws and rules, but what are your thoughts here?
Personally, I think it's total bullshit. In all honesty, we've had our conversations on the side about it, and it's just unfair that these NBA players, and it's not just NBA players, people everywhere, whether you work in, in the medicine field, you're working as a teacher, or you're being a basketball player, we're all under some kind of, scrutiny here because there's individuals that don't want to partake in the vaccine. The whole Andres mentioned something about I think you said media clicks or something of that nature. I think that's a huge fucking problem, excuse my language, because I get really heated when I talk about this topic. But I think that's a huge topic that the minute somebody verbally, and publicly states that, hey, I don't want to take the vaccine, or I'm kind of like, considering my options, individuals in the media, individuals in the media or media personalities take the time to ridicule them. Stephen A has been running his mouth for a very, very long time regarding this whole vaccine thing. And I personally think he needs to shut the fuck up. For you to sit here and say that, oh, they need to trade Harrison Barnes. I'm not Harrison Barnes. They need to trade Andrew Wiggins. They need to trade Kyrie Irving is really ridiculous and stupid. I mean, people are entitled to their opinions. You can't ridicule people for that. And it's happening here in the NBA. It's happening. I'm a teacher, as most people know. It's happening in the DOE. They just fired a bunch of nurses the other day who were refusing to take the vaccine, and it's just borderline nonsense, really and truly. Andres, you mentioned something about the Tylenol aspect and things of that nature. Yes, as a kid, you were taking Tylenol, and yes, as NBA players, they were pushing certain things for you to do, right? But as you get older, you come across different kinds of research, you get smarter, or not smarter, you take in more information, and you're able to make an informed decision about how you should move. So for me personally, yeah, I used to take Tylenol, but then you realize, okay, you're taking Tylenol, yeah, you feel better here, but somewhere else might be hurt, and you're going to just keep popping Tylenol over and over and over. No, I don't think so. Or Motrin. No, I'm not doing that neither. You've seen NBA players who talk about cannabis, right? They talked about how they pushed all these particular pharmaceutical drugs on them, and they realized that cannabis did way more than any of these pharmaceutical drugs. So I don't think we should ridicule anybody who decides to look elsewhere for information. It's getting ridiculous. But at the same time, you have a decision to make. That's what it just comes down to. We can't really blame the NBA. You know what I mean? Because even the Players Association, they're rejecting the vaccine mandates. It's the state. It's California and it's New York. And you have a decision. You either miss half of your games, you know what I'm saying? Or you request to be traded and you go elsewhere where you don't have to deal with such mandates, like Bradley Beal's in Washington, or Jonathan Isaac is in Orlando. You go to one of these franchises and see what you can do over there. It's total fucking bullshit, and it's just ridiculous. And it's going to get worse before it gets better.
My man Ziggy dropping three F bombs in 1 segment before I even get to my next question.
My bad.
It's all good. It's all good, bro. I understand.
Like, you see my face right now, bro.
I know, but you know what? It's a topic. Again, I've never been shy of talking about the touchy topics, especially the fact that we have a voice and we have a platform. And I know it's trending, and we have to discuss it and let people know the realism behind it and behind everything going on. Another question that's been pondering, going about. Shout out to Jay Lex and Ricardo Etienne. They were going back and forth about it. Is the pay. Now, we understand the state mandates about, but the pay has nothing to do with the state mandates, right? So now they're looking at possibly docking players' salaries for not playing games because they're deciding not to take the vaccine. Is that fair? Can they do that? Does the Players Association have any say in that? Players deciding, listen, I don't want to take this for my own personal reasons. Now you're going to dock me my pay for not playing any home games. How does that affect? And again, I'm more of a person, I don't think it should affect people's livelihood, especially since it wasn't a rule that was instilled before they started working. So, Andres, what are your thoughts here with the pay being docked?
No, well, that I don't agree with, because like like I said last week, like all we're doing is putting money inside these billionaire owners like pockets, like all the racist owners that we know today, that like there's like a lot of them and stuff. So like I don't think that, like, where's that money gonna go? Like, for example, let's say Andrew Wiggins sits out game 1, right? So he's owed $500,000, for example. So where's that 500,000 gonna go? Is it gonna go to him? Is it gonna go to his family? Is it gonna go to a foundation? Is it gonna go to the owner's pockets? Like all like we need to stop with the empowerment of like compelling with like billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Like billionaires Like me and Zig talked about this once when we were talking about the Clippers. Like all billionaires do is care about themselves, dude. Like they don't care about anyone else. Do you think Donald Sterling wakes up every morning thinking about like how he can make the world a better place? Like no, dude. Like all he cares about is all of his income and like how much money he has in his pocket. Like all he cares about is how much he's paying for dinner, how much he's paying for lunch, how much he's spending on a household. Like I'm sick and tired of like all these owners thinking that like they have the right and treat these players, excuse my French, but they literally treat these players like they're slaves. Like they're not entitled to that, and they shouldn't take up. You should not tell an African American male how much they're worth. Point blank, simple.
Ziggs, what are your thoughts with the pay situation? How does that even work with them? You know, should they get like does the Players Association even have a word and say in, you know, players not getting paid because they decide not to take the vaccine?
I mean, I would hope the Players Association has a say in that because they have a say in almost anything related to the NBA players. That's why they're there, right? But man, it's all it really is just a ploy to push people to go and get the vaccine. That's really what it is, because as I stated before, this is not just happening in the NBA. They're doing this in the DOE. I've spoken to several of my own coworkers who now have to make a decision between, you know, getting this shot and being able to keep their livelihood or trying to figure something out afterwards. I would hope the NBA Players Association has something to say about this. But it's just really crazy that, you know, this is what's going on. As soon as this vaccine was approved by the FDA, all of a sudden these new mandates just came out of nowhere. Whatever happened to testing weekly? You know what I'm saying? Whatever happened to, if you got COVID, whatever happened to the antibodies? But nobody talks about antibodies anymore. Everything is just vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Like that's going to make everything better. Andres alluded to Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal asked a great question. He was like, yo, you get vaccinated, right? You can still get COVID-19. And somebody responded, oh, you know, hey, it shortens the duration of the That's not true for everybody. Everybody has a different body. There are people who are getting vaccinated and they're still dying 2 or 3 weeks after the vaccine. And there's people who are getting vaccinated and they're straight. So, I mean, it's not a one size fits all. What you really should be doing is bringing back the testing. That's what you really should be doing. And it's a shame that the unvaccinated have all of these restrictions, creating this segregation as if we're living in the 1950s, medical segregation, that is. It's just, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, you know what it is, though? You cut costs. I'm trying my best not to make this an entire thing about COVID because I'm COVIDed out. It's just a matter of like this.
Oh no, we're gonna keep hearing about COVID forever, bro.
No, I know, but I'm just saying though. I think if you're looking at it from a financial standpoint, technically they're saving money by them not having to have to test weekly, right? Yeah. It's a form of saving money if you think about it, because someone tells you that they're vaccinated, that means you don't have to pay for them to get tested on a weekly basis. Andres, we got people in the comments. I don't know if you've seen, but they're disagreeing with you about the correlation as far as them being treated like slaves. They're not taking money from the players in the instance. If you're not available for a game due to a defined mandate or regulation, you shouldn't be paid regardless of the mandate or what the regulation is. That's Ricardo Etienne said that.
Oh,
yeah, Rick said. I'm
just saying.
You trying to start trouble? Hold on a second, Mr. Numbers. You trying to start trouble? That's what you trying to start over here. You trying to start.
Ricardo Etienne is soft, bro. Pull up.
Andres, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, but like I was saying, like for example, the problem is like society today. Not me. I thank God every day. Society today, they have this disorder. It's called celebrity worship syndrome. So whatever a celebrity does, they evaluate and they body it. For someone like LeBron James, they know what he brings to the table. Someone like Kevin Durant, they know who he is. So what did LeBron say? Did you see what he said or no?
I did. Yeah, he said he took it for his family.
He said he took it for his family. He said he was skeptical at first, and then he said that he wasn't obligating other people to do it. So there's nothing wrong with him saying that and he knows what his voice brings to the table. Same thing, Damian Lillard. I'm going to be biased because Dame is my guy. What did Dame say? Like, I'm not recommending I'm not going to tell anyone what to do, but I'm just saying that I took it because of my family and I'm around my loved ones and I got 3 baby kids and stuff. So like a lot of people need to realize that these NBA players, they hold the voice, quote unquote, because everyone has this like weird disorder of worshiping celebrities. And I mean, you've seen it, Carl. You've seen people like if LeBron tomorrow says that the sky is pink, what is everyone going to do? Like the sky is pink. If Kevin Durant comes out tomorrow, and says that steak can kill you, guess what? Everyone's not going to eat steak for a week or two. So
No, I get it.
I mean, I'm gonna get my steak medium rare, but I'm just saying.
Medium well.
Medium
No,
rare. Medium rare.
no, we don't do that, my guy.
No,
That's a conversation for another day. Medium well. Medium well. We're not doing medium rare. I don't want to see blood gush. I don't want to. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry,
bro.
But last week, nah, I'm eating my steak. Medium.
You are a grown ass. Listen to me before we continue. You are a grown ass man telling the waiter, "Let me get a steak medium well." Are you dead ass right now?
Listen, we'll have this conversation on another day. But last week, before we left, we could talk about the NBA training camp. We could talk about. There's nothing for us to talk about. We know what the teams are. They're getting ready for the season. There's a lot to cover. But last week, you left us with I guess you could say on a high point. I didn't forget about it, where you specifically said that Kevin Durant was not the best player on his team. And I wanted you to elaborate on that right now. We got people in the comments because, people put Kevin Durant on very, very high. He's a great player, very
high.
And I don't think you believe that he's the best player on his team. I'd like you to tell us why he's not from a basketball standpoint and tell us who is the best player on the Nets team.
Okay. I don't care what Kevin Durant did in his tenure with the Warriors. Okay. The last time Kevin Durant was the best player on his team, Mr. Barack Obama was still in office. All right. That's number one. Number two.
Wait.
Kevin Durant.
Okay, go ahead.
Kevin Durant has not been the best player on his team since Obama was in office. I don't think that Kevin Durant is the best player on his team because we've seen the results when the lights get bright and when he has to be by himself. We saw it in Oklahoma City. We saw it very briefly with the Warriors, and then we saw it with the Brooklyn Nets last year.
Wait, can you say that one more time? I'm sorry. You said when the lights get bright, he's not the best player. Is what you said?
When the lights get bright and he has to be the best player, he's nowhere to be found. In OKC, he gave up in that Game 7 against the Warriors. In Golden State, we know that Steph was better. Obviously, that's the fact. There's statistics, there's videos. You can watch the film, whatever you want to do. With the Nets last year, when Kevin Durant went out, James Harden was still playing. And guess how many games James Harden played without KD? Probably like 45. Guess how many did they win? Like 35 of them. When he came back, the same thing was happening. When it came to the playoffs, after game 5, the Nets were up 3-2. And guess what happened? Kyrie got hurt. What did the Nets do? Hey, James Harden, can you play on a 50% hamstring? Yeah, fuck it, I'll play. So what happened? James Harden played. Obviously, they didn't win. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, he played. He wasn't injured. After the season ended, what did James Harden say? I'm not 100%. I'm not going to go to the Olympics. I'm going to focus on recovering on my hamstring. Do we know what would have happened if James Harden didn't play in Game 6 and 7? No, because we can't prove that. But overall, James Harden is the best offensive player on the Nets. He's the best player overall on the Nets. And all he has to do is let Kevin Durant hold his hand. Simple. Just like Kevin Durant was.
So let me correct you on 2 points, though. You do realize Obama technically was still president in 2016, and he was on the Warriors.
Correct.
Right. So,
well, and also no, in the 2015. Listen, Kevin Durant has not been the best player in a playoff since 2014.
So then why did he win 2 Finals MVPs? I'm just asking the question.
Because Steph was getting all the attention.
Wait, what?
You can watch the film. It's
but again, Kevin Durant was the best. He wasn't the best player on the Warriors. I'm not taking anything away from Steph. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not taking anything away. I'm just asking. He won 2 Finals MVPs.
Listen,
he played and the lights were bright. The lights were bright in the series, as you said. I'm going by your words. The lights were bright in the series. He was not the best player.
Listen, I know you have glasses, right? Just like me, right? I know that you could see that in a 3-on-1 breakaway. Look at Ziggy laughing because he knows I'm right. In a 3-on-1 breakaway, were they focused on Steph or were they focused on Durant cutting to the rim? Please tell me.
Well, clearly, yeah, they were focused on Steph.
Tell me
because of his shooting.
Why?
But that has nothing to do with him being the best. What does that have to do with him being the best player?
He was getting all the attention, bro. He was facilitating KD's job.
All right, Ziggy, I got 12 minutes. Ziggy, you want to say something? Manny just pulled up. I don't know if we want to.
No, I think I'm a Knicks fan, man. So I think you need to let the Nets fan have at this one because I don't know, bro.
Okay, all right. Let Manny cook real quick. Okay, I let him in.
What is he gonna cook about, bro? Yeah.
Okay, so Manny, listen. It's 4:49. I got to get myself to class. Let's try to be brief. I don't know who gave you the keys. Somebody gave you the keys to let you in. You better tell me who gave you.
Yeah. First of all, I ain't no snitch. All right, Poppy ain't no snitch. But all I'm gonna say, yo, Andres, were you at Game 5 or Game 7? Because I was.
No.
I witnessed
Really?
everything Kevin Durant did. James
Wait,
Harden
did he lose?
played half. Yeah. You
Okay,
think he was
okay,
gonna
so-
beat the Bucks by himself? Hold on. He was beating the Bucks by himself with no Kyrie.
Yeah.
With a
Or if he's
hobbled
a-
James Harden. James Harden played with
Oh,
one
he
leg.
was.
He
Oh, so
played
he
with
put-
one
but-
leg.
Wait, Professor, they forced
No.
him to play? So they,
Hold on. Did LeBron play with his full team
I don't
against
care
the
about
Warriors
LeBron,
the first
bro.
time?
I don't.
No.
I don't care.
No.
Okay,
He
okay.
didn't.
So let's
I'm sorry
assess
to bring
what
in
he
LeBron
said.
in this, but let me tell you this right now.
Wait,
I was there
let
at
me be
Game
objective
7.
for
My
one
man
second. Let me be
played,
objective for one
tried to
second.
put
He
the
wasn't
team.
playing.
No, he tried to put the team on his back and lost
And he
because
failed.
of a half shoe size, an inch of a shoe size. He lost
So
that
you
game.
could prove.
So you're
he
telling, and
lost.
he dropped? Didn't
He
he drop
lost.
49 on Game 5?
Wait,
so
did
the
he
Nets,
lose?
hold on, were the Nets gonna win without him? They were gonna beat the
You could
Bucks without
prove-
him.
Yes, they
Were
could
the
have if
Nets-
James Harden was healthy.
Really? If they could have? Really? So take
yeah,
it right
because
now.
you can't prove it.
Let's sit Durant. Let's have Kyrie get vaccinated. Let's have James Harden. Just them two. Let's see them make it to the finals by them. Just them. No
They
Durant.
would.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Let's
you
see.
know,
They
okay,
would?
Andres. Okay, Andres. Let me ask this question.
Bruh.
Andres, you said that when the lights get bright, KD's not the man, right?
He's not. He's a.
So is
bum.
it fair to say the same thing I've been saying about James Harden for years, that when the lights get bright,
Absolutely
he's not the guy?
not. Absolutely not.
We
No.
can't say the same thing.
No, we cannot.
Why not?
Because look at the teams that Harden faced and look at the teams that Kevin Durant faced. Which ones are better? Oh,
So now we're basing it off the teams that they faced.
Look at you.
No.
You're quiet. Look at you.
Son having a
I'm not
stroke.
quiet.
Settle
You do
down,
remember a year that James Harden did face a Spurs team, right?
That,
They
bro,
did
that's
lose. They
literally
lost, but
that's listen. That's literally your only argument, and I understand. He
Hold on.
folded in 2000.
it's
Didn't he lose?
not
Wait,
my
can I-
only
can I-
argument. But go ahead.
let
No,
me
go
finish,
ahead, please.
Didn't
By all means.
CP3 get hurt? Didn't CP3 get hurt and then the Rockets still lose to the Warriors?
But his argument is that the Warriors.
Did
were
you
better
see the
team.
team?
I know what he's gonna say. I know what he's gonna say. I already know what I know. Andres like
But
the back of
didn't
my hand. I
Durant-
know what he's gonna say.
No,
But
no,
didn't
you don't.
Durant just do this with a hobbled Harden
Time out.
and no Kyrie?
Who was the best player? Who was the best player in the Rockets Warriors series in 2018?
Kevin Durant. I'm just gonna say that right then and there. Kevin Durant.
Who was the best player in 2019?
It's all good though. I'm gonna just tell
Who's
you this
the-
right now,
answer-
Andres.
answer-
No.
answer
Well,
my question.
Andres,
Time out.
Andres, let me ask this question too, though. Couldn't you use the same argument in 19 when the Warriors lost to the Raptors? Couldn't you use that argument and say Steph could have carried them to win and they lost without Durant? Wasn't that the main reason they lost?
That's a
Like-
big one.
No.
Oh.
Repeat that.
Thank you,
because I don't
Carl.
understand. What
Okay,
you're-
I'll
I
repeat
don't
that
understand-
again. Sure. So in 2019, when the Raptors won the championship, right? The argument was the reason why they lost was Kevin Durant didn't play. There wasn't a healthy Kevin Durant. Why
The
didn't
reason why
Steph-
they lost was because Kevin Durant didn't play. Okay, continue.
Right. Is that true or not? Do you believe that?
The reason that the Warriors lost was because Kevin Durant wasn't there. No, absolutely not. They would have lost with or without him. No.
What?
I don't believe
Andres,
that.
you serious?
Yeah, bro.
But why didn't
Yo,
Steph-
Carl. Good night,
But-
Carl.
Bro, the Raptors.
Bless up.
Listen,
Bless
I'm
up.
asking the questions. Listen, I'm just asking the questions. I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking, just trying to find the correlation, because you could correlate and say Steph didn't show up, just like you're saying Kevin Durant doesn't show up, because your argument was that, last year Kevin Durant they lost. So the same argument could be made about Steph losing against the
Yes,
against
Steph
the
lost.
Raptors that they lost, right?
Steph didn't play good in that series because I watched the series. Yes. What are we trying to do? What are we doing?
So didn't he fold if he didn't play well?
Steph did not fold because he was getting guarded 4-by-1. He was
But
getting
you
boxed
just
and
said-
one.
but
Dude,
you
come
ju-
on, bro.
So the
Come on,
Bucks
stop
weren't
it. Stop it.
the Bucks weren't double teaming Kevin Durant when he was by himself? No, right? It was just
No.
one person.
No.
One person.
Look at his
Kevin Durant.
Look at his shots,
Kevin
bro.
Durant, yeah. Okay. Look at the shots.
Yes.
So he wasn't getting
Look at his
bodied
shots.
and pushed up, getting fatigued, like you like to use. He wasn't
Oh
fatigued
wait.
in a
NBA
7-game
players
series?
NBA
Oh,
players
man.
get fatigued.
It's
NBA
just like the
players-
momentum. Just
Wait,
like
time out,
there's
time
momentum
out,
in the
time
game.
out, Time out. The
Players
Nets
don't get
and Bucks
tired?
were playing in Milwaukee. Oh my God, can I speak?
Hold on.
The Nets.
When the
Hold on,
Heat were
man.
in the finals. No, when the Heat were in the finals, was Jimmy Butler not fatigued? Was he not exhausted from playing? For doing everything for your team? Yes or no?
Because they were playing every other day. They didn't have 2 days of rest, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay. So the Nets, what? One game, 1 day off, and then they played.
They were literally in Milwaukee and they had 2 days off.
You
What are
Italian
talking
now?
about, bro?
Doing this? What we doing here? I'm
What are you
just saying
talking
right.
about?
I'm
Because you're
just
not
saying right now.
okay,
You're
okay.
arguing.
We're
You're
not-
saying
we're not-
Kevin Durant is not the best player.
You're-
You're crazy.
You're arguing to argue.
Listen, to be
You're not
honest, to be
listening
fair,
me.
listen. To be fair, you could make the fair argument because James Harden, we've seen him play at a high level. I just don't want to take.
Now
I'm not
you've seen him play at a high level.
No, I've always seen him play at a high level. I've always seen James Harden. I've never
You're lying.
taken it.
You're lying because you've always hated him, bro. Stop.
I've
it.
never hated him. No, don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's not say
Ziggy, am I right or am I right?
Listen, let's not do
Carl-
that.
Yeah, on James
Carl's
Harden.
had his moments with James Harden. We can't.
But I
try
haven't
it.
in recently
Thank you.
though. Recently, I
but
haven't said it.
recently, no. I would
No,
say that would
recently
be
I
more
haven't
so
said much.
Chauncey.
Yes, I haven't said a lot about James Harden in a while. All right. So again, to be fair, it is a fair argument because there are people in the comments who do agree with Andres that James Harden is the better player. But I think for you to say that he wasn't the best player on his team dating back to 2016, I think that's a reach. Ziggy, what are your thoughts?
And that's okay. And
Me
that's okay,
personally,
bro.
I think wherever KD goes, he's the best player on his team. You know what I mean? And I understand what Andres was saying that, you know, when James Harden was on the Houston Rockets, he actually had some stronger opponents to face, but he too folded. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he shoot? Like,
He didn't.
when they missed all those
sorry.
3-pointers. Then wasn't he a part of that team when they
That was
2018, yeah.
Weren't they
I'm
up
glad-
2 against the Warriors and they kind of blew that lead as well, losing to the Warriors? I just don't see James Harden as that guy. And as a complete NBA player, I'm giving that to Kevin Durant because when it comes time to lock up and play defense, that's what Kevin Durant can do.
Can I raise my hand? Can I raise my hand?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Where was Kevin Durant when the Oklahoma City Thunder were up 3-1 against the Warriors? Where was he?
He went to the Warriors after they lost.
No, he's
But what
talking
did he
about
do
in the
in
series.
Game
He's
That's not
talking
his
about the
question.
series. That's not his question. That's his question. He's talking about the series.
But
He
if
was on
you're
the
saying
court.
that, yeah, all right. So
Carl,
look, we can say that.
Let me ask another question. Carl, you're a Celtics fan, right?
Absolutely.
Who's the best player on the Celtics?
Wait, right now?
Yes.
Oh, Tatum, hands down.
Jason Tatum. Okay, follow me. If Jason Tatum had 9 shot attempts through 3 quarters in a game 7, what would you say?
I hate for the purpose of answering your question, it goes against my. I'm going to answer your question. It was an if, but I'm going to answer his question.
It's not an if, it's a fact.
I would be disappointed. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so why aren't we disappointed in Kevin Durant for taking 9 shots through 3 quarters in Game 7 versus the Warriors?
We are. I'm not saying that, but that one game, but that one series, that takes away from his entire career and what he's accomplished, especially what he did on the Warriors. The fact that the Warriors
pre-Warriors, yes, it does, yes, it does.
But again, I'm talking about his entire career. And you also have to think about it. Remember, the Warriors lost the finals and they went after him too. Keep in mind, everyone wants to use the narrative that he went to the Warriors.
The
Warriors went to the Warriors went to recruit him too.
Bro,
do we understand that part? Do we understand that part too, though?
Dude.
Do we not understand that part?
You're not gonna understand.
I'm not. Those are the facts. They went after him. They went after him.
Carl, let it rock. Let Durant fold in the limelight. You know, he folded last year because there ain't no way the Nets was gonna win against the Bucks.
Well, you know what? Listen,
not fully healthy.
The Nets were not going to beat the Clippers, healthy or not.
Listen, we're using a lot of if scenarios and things we can't prove. I think Manny's leaving the show.
I'm not wrong, bro.
Ziggy, light one up for me, please.
Listen, it's your opinion, Andres, which is why I don't know if there's a right or wrong here. It's an opinion.
No,
so I don't know where the right or wrong goes.
Someone said that the Padres were going to make the playoffs, and guess what?
Oh, okay. So we got one more question.
Oh, you watch baseball now?
We got one more question, and I got to go. Rick says, ask him who was the best player on the Lakers when Kobe stopped shooting in the second half against the Suns.
Oh,
it was still Kobe. He didn't give up on the team. He was tired of Kobe produced 60 or 70% of the points. No,
Kobe was tired.
He was tired of the.
He was just saying he was tired.
Guys, the one thing I love about this time. Listen, I gotta go to class, man. I got
class.
No. Hold up, Carl. Hold up. The reason why Kobe didn't take a shot in that second half was because his teammates were selling him, and they were selling him the whole series, not because he wanted to give up on the team. But thank you, Manny, for the concern.
Guys, listen, we can continue the conversation next week. This is one thing I love about having a actual limit now because I got to go. It leaves the fans wanting more for us to talk about it next week.
All I know is
move your class.
Be prepared for the
season.
season.
6 p.m.
I have another class at 6:30. I can't do that. I got two
I'm
back to back.
circling that
class
game.
like-
I'm circling that date. The Nets versus the Heat. I'm circling that date.
Oh,
You
You
better
guys
not
should get
go.
tickets
Worried
and
about-
go. Guys, I'll
Okay.
see you. I'll see you next time. Thank you for putting up to the sports hit list. I didn't get to comment on the whole Declan situation, but that's within itself. I thought that was great TV. I thought it was
We'll
funny.
do it another time.
Yeah, we could do another time.
Man,
I thought it was
listen.
hilarious. Andres, if you didn't get a chance to see it, make sure you catch it. Thank you for everyone tuning into the sports hit list. Friday we'll have Smoke and Mirrors back at 4:00, and Sunday's the NFL kickoff show. You guys stay safe out there. Love you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Later,
Go
guys.
Raiders.